Denver is an insanely hot seller's market right now. So today we are going to talk about how to navigate through multiple offers that you're probably going to get if you're selling your home in Denver, how to look through all these offers, how to find which one is the best for you and make a decision. What's up guys, Lewi Gault here. Welcome to the channel. As always, thanks for being here. If you haven't done so before, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. You can like the videos, comment on whatever you want. We talk about Denver and the real estate market here. Today we are looking at something that's happening everywhere in Denver right now, is multiple offer situations. If you're looking to sell your home right now, chances are you're going to get multiple offers because of the supply and demand right now that's in Denver. We have half a month worth of inventory on the market, which is nothing. Usually you want 6 months for it to be an even market. We have half a month of inventory right now. So buyers are jumping at every house and there's multiple offers going on. If you're buying a house right now, chances are you've been beat a few times in different offers. So we're going to go through today, if you're selling your home, how to work through multiple offer situations and find the best deal for you. So there's lots of different factors to take into consideration with offers that come through for your house. You have to think about what's best for you first and foremost before you even think about selling the house. Do you have something lined up? Are you moving out of state? Are you staying here? Do you need a rent back? Do you need to make a certain amount of money on the sale? Are you looking for different things like inspection clauses? So really laying out your wish list of selling your home first before you see offers coming in, because then you can start to weed out the ones that aren't going to be best for you. So make sure that you know exactly what you're looking for. If it's the bottom line and that's all you care about, the cash, great, let's see which one yields the most return. If you need to spend 60 days in your home after the sale to find a new home or to rent before you move out of state, then you need to find that offer too. So let's break this up. So when I'm working with my sellers on multiple offer situations, what we tend to look at are 3 major sections to take into consideration. The first one is the speed of the buyer and how quickly or slowly they want things to work on their timeline. So the first obvious one to take into consideration is, what is the closing date going to be? When are they looking to close? Is it going to be a typical 30-day close? Can they speed things up to 20 days? Are they cash looking for a 10-day close? What does that look like and how does that feel for you? If you have to move your whole house and your family out of here to a different place, is that going to be enough time? And then of course, how flexible are these buyers on their timing? If we push back with a counter and say, hey, we actually want a 45-day close or we want a 30-day close with a rent back, are they going to be open to that? So these are things that you can get your agent to reach out to the buyer's agent and talk through. And one to keep in check as well is, when does the offer expire? What happens sometimes when you get multiple offers on the table, say you have 5 offers on the table, one can have a 12 p.m. deadline, one might have a 5 p.m. deadline, and your agent's got so much going on in their head that they forget which one's which. So make sure that you are checking when each deadline is, so that if it is an offer that you might entertain, you can either ask them to extend the timeline or you can give them an answer by then. Otherwise, that offer expires and it goes away forever. Okay, the next major section we talk about is how qualified is the buyer. So, is it a cash buyer? Cash buyers are typically seen as a home run, mostly because they provide proof of funds. You know the money's there, so you don't ever have to worry about the financing part of things. All you have to get through is the inspection and the other stuff. But at the same time, cash buyers can be a little tough to deal with sometimes because they know they have the power, right? They've got that cash, they've got the carrot dangling right in front of you there. So they know that they can play the game a little bit more than someone who's maybe a little less qualified and is desperate to get the deal done. Typically, a cash buyer is going to push you hard on inspection and try and get a lot of those inspection costs taken off the price so they have to pay less. So even though it's a cash buyer, have a think and have a look at what they're looking to do with the house in terms of the sale and take that into consideration. If it's not a cash buyer and they're doing a loan, whether it be conventional, FHA or VA, you have to research and find out how secure that loan is and how secure their financing is. Now you can look at all this in the contract in the financial terms box. In Denver anyway, I'm not sure in other states how it looks like, but we should be looking at the down payment. How much are they putting down? If there's multiple offers at the same price point, same type of loan, but someone's putting down 20% and someone's putting down 10%, then you might want to go for that 20% because they seem to be more financially secure. As well as that, with 20% down, there might be an option to waive an appraisal. There might be different incentives that they can do with their lender or bank. So depending on how much they're putting down is definitely a factor to take into consideration. The next one would be the earnest money. Now, typically earnest money is 1% of the purchase price. So if it's a $500,000 home, the earnest money is $5,000. Now, of course, earnest money is the buyer giving you something up front saying, hey, I'm here to play the game, I'm taking this seriously. So if someone is offering 2% or 3% earnest money, they are gambling on themselves a little bit more, because if something goes wrong on their end with the transaction, that money is probably going to go to you in a dispute. So if someone is putting more than 1% down for the earnest money, it's typically a good sign that they are a financially healthy buyer. And of course, there is the pre-approval as well. Now, you're never going to get an offer without a pre-approval here. It's just, I mean, if I have sellers and an offer comes through without a pre-approval, it's hardly going to get looked at by them. I'll present it because that's my job, but they're going to, push that away because there's no evidence of them having funds to purchase the house. So obviously a pre-approval has to come with it, but look at the pre-approval letter. What does it say? How much are they putting down? Is there terms and conditions on the loan that they have to meet and require to do with the lender before they can actually take the loan? And different things like that. The other thing as well is to call the lender. Typically a lender letter will have their contact details on it. Call the lender if they haven't called you before, which is a really good sign. If the lender calls you, it means they're hustling, trying to get the deal done, so that's a good sign. If not, call them, have your agent call them and talk them through and say, hey, how financially secure are these guys? What is the chances that they don't close, and have those conversations. So definitely the financial point is a huge one and a big checkbox that you need to look at. And the third section, and probably the most important one to 9 out of 10 sellers, is the price. How much are they giving you for your house? But it's not quite as simple as that. If you have multiple offers situation like we see in Denver a lot, typically you're going to get above asking price, which to most sellers you're like, oh, happy days. I'm selling this home for 500, now I'm at 510, 515. People keep on escalating this clause. This is great, I'm going to get more money. Well, potentially that could not be the case unless they give you an appraisal gap. Now, an appraisal gap means that the buyer is going to cover the difference of what the house appraises at. So take this for example. We listed the home at $500,000 and we had multiple offers and it went crazy, and the home ended up under contract at $515,000. So $15,000 above asking. Great, happy days, everything's looking good. Now, the buyer's lender sends the appraiser out and the appraiser appraises it at $500,000. They say, hey, this house is worth $500,000. That's what it's worth, no more, no less. Okay, well now we've got an issue because the purchase price is $515,000, so somewhere, somehow, we have to make up that difference of $15,000. And what's going to happen if you don't have an appraisal gap in there is that the buyers are going to ask you to drop the price down to $500,000. Now, you're getting asking price anyway, so could be good. But if they have an appraisal gap in there, what that means is they are going to cover that $15,000 and you are good to go with your purchase price. So have a talk with your realtor. We maybe do a video more in depth about appraisal gaps because it's such a big thing now here in Denver. But appraisal gaps is definitely something to look for if you're seeing it go above asking price. Another thing to look for financially, although it might not seem financial at this point, is any inspection stuff. So are they limiting the inspection to health and safety, big ticket items and stuff like that? If they are limiting things, chances are they're not going to try and gouge you for everything in the house, so it's going to save you financially paying out a little bit less money. So overall, with less inspection issues, you are going to net more profit. And a big thing to look for, depending on your situation, is a leaseback. Is the buyer offering a leaseback? What that means is, if you sell your home on December 1st, but you want to be in your home for Christmas, can you get a 30-day rent back? So can you now rent the house for 30 days from the new owners? We see this quite a lot. We see a lot of people ask for it, but a lot of buyers, as is their right, charge you to rent the house from them. So if there's multiple offers, are there people who are offering rent backs for free or at a reduced price? These are things you want to take into consideration as well, because you could end up paying a couple of grand to rent your own house from the new buyers. Take that off the purchase price. Maybe there was an offer that actually netted you more in the proceeds. So you really need to dive into the offer. It's not just a case of, oh, these guys are offering 500, these guys are offering 510, that one's easy, let's do it. It's not quite as simple as that. So again, the big three that you want to look at is how fast the buyers are looking to move, how qualified they are to purchase the home, and what is the overall profit that you're going to net from these buyers. Typically, I like to put all this stuff in a nerded out spreadsheet for my sellers so they can see it firsthand. We put it in a Google document and they can see us putting all the information in there. So it's really good to put that in because it will show you the net profit from what you're going to get in the different terms. So make sure you're looking through those things with your realtor and have a realtor that is going through these things at fine detail in every single offer, because there might be little things in there that net you a little more or actually net you a little bit less. So those are the big things to look out for when you're in a multiple offer situation. We will be back next week as always with more videos. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next week.